Diesel, I got a question for you, and it kind of popped up in my head as we were talking about this. We've been going for about 10 minutes,
Mhm.
and internally, I'm having this feeling like move off the racism topic, right? Do
Okay.
you ever feel being a YouTuber and being a police officer, so and being pro 2A? Because I kind of feel like this. I feel like when we're black men in the pro 2A space, I'm very conscious of not playing in the stereotypes, right?
Right. Me
Like
too.
I'm already tattooed like a motherfucker, so like
Right. 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 Right.
I wear a lot of flannel because I live in the Pacific Northwest. I'm not doing
Right.
that to try and fit in, but
Right.
I'm black, I'm big, I'm brash, I'm tattooed. So I try really hard to articulate myself.
Right.
I try really hard to like talk about issues that are just pro 2A and not get into the racial undertones. My question to you, do you ever feel as a police officer being in North Carolina and also being on YouTube that there's certain aspects of this conversation that we're having that you kind of have to steer away from?
It's sad that you even have to ask me that, man, because when it comes down to it, and I don't mind talking about it. I can't get in too much detail of what I went through as far as that because it's still litigation going on. But when it comes down to it, man, the reason why I had to take a year off of work is because of a racial situation. I was a assistant chief, and I had an agent that was just throwing all kinds of racial slurs. And when the chief didn't do anything about it, I went over his head, so they set me up and got rid of me. So for me to say just get away from that conversation, it's kind of like I can't, because I know it's there. I know it happens. It actually happened to me. It ended up getting me 2 felonies. You know what I'm saying? I was charged with 2 felonies and had to fight that, to keep my career. So I do try to stay away from just the generalized, and I know this is gonna come off bad, but the generalized public racist stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're racist because you only reason you stop me because I'm black. That kind of stuff
Right,
I try to stay away from.
right.
Yeah, of course. But we can't deny the fact that there is still some kind of racism going on in the law enforcement security field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was talking to, I don't know if you know Commander Hall,
yeah, yeah. Good. Yeah, talk to them all the
but
time.
he did a video just the other day of he couldn't get contracts because he's black. So I mean, it's there. It's sad that it's still there, but it is there. It is something that we need. I don't feel it would give us justice in this field to just skip over it and ignore it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like so many times in the 2A community, our experience as black men, there's no room for it, because I've been around so many people and they're like, man, you're different, man, you're different, like, you're not the kind of person that I expected, and blah blah blah.
Right. I get the same thing.
Right. But at the same time, like, there are issues within the 2A community and within law enforcement that I would love to be able to have open dialogue and conversations about it. But it turns off those people that in other situations and circumstances, they're more supportive of us. You know what I mean?
Right. And see that, and you hit it home, man. It's like one of those things to where if the person isn't black, they just don't want to know what's going on. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to have anything to do with it or anything like that. Because like when I tell my story to other officers that are not black, they're like, they really like just be silent the whole time, don't have any questions or anything like that. But you know how it is. If you tell them a story or anything else, they want to know every detail there is.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to know hardly anything about what happened with me when it came down to it, because it ultimately came down to the N-word, and the agent wouldn't stop using the N-word. So I went over to the chief's head, and like I said, they just set me up.
Man, there's a gun holster company. I have him on my page, my YouTube channel, and it's called Gorilla Tactical.
Right.
And he makes Kydex products, things like that. I was scrolling through Instagram one day and I came across his page, and he has on a shirt, and this is a white dude, and he has a shirt, and on the back of it, it says, "Keep racism out of the 2A community." And dude, I kid you not, man. I don't mean to say this like to be overly emotional. Man, I almost cried, because I was like, man, like I've never seen a white person in the 2A community even broach that subject.
Right, because they don't, it's a lot of people that don't acknowledge that it's everywhere. And they feel like there are safe places for it not to be. And it's just not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not like that. Yeah. Like if you have so many people in one, and I'm not saying it's just white people being racist, it's black people that's racist too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, and when you have a bunch of different people in one organization, like the 2A community or like law enforcement or like security, you're bound to have some kind of racism going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the beast.